Hi, welcome back everyone. It's been a long time, but as always, my man Anirudh with me here. We've been we've been a little busy, Anirudh. Stuff's come up, but first of all, I would like to wish you and all of our viewers a very happy new year. Hopefully, 2021 is a great year and brings happiness and positivity to everyone. Um, but we've been away for a while, Anirudh. What's been up?
Oh, hello everybody. It's been a while, Sanil. So a very happy new year to all our viewers. Yeah, so it's gonna be 21 and 21, isn't it? Top of the
Um,
league, top of the league, joint top. Who would have thought? Who would have thought when we lost to Palace on game week one? It's been a while. We've been away for a while, but we're back. The old faces are back.
we're
So
back,
let's
and
get
that's what
started, shall
matters,
we?
isn't it? Yeah, definitely,
Uh,
man. And I'll tell you what, Anirudh, let's dive straight into this, yeah. Um, I want to talk about Manchester United in terms of almost what is a mid-season review. If you look at it, it's been a season, as always, as it is in the Premier League, of ups and downs, roller coasters. Um, we started off with that loss at Palace. There was that dodgy win at Brighton that we were all pissed off about, even though we won. We got thrashed by Tottenham. Um, then we went to
we lost
PSG.
to
We
Arsenal.
we lost to Arsenal, man. That one was pathetic, innit? But we went to PSG, got a win, smashed up Leipzig, lost to Istanbul, and then eventually ended up getting knocked out of our Champions League group. We're back on Thursday
Which we should
nights now,
have topped.
which we should have topped. I agree 100%. That was very disappointing. We're back to Thursday nights. Everything was doom and gloom, dejected. As you rightly mentioned, Arsenal beat us. But since that loss to Arsenal, we've gone on a pretty incredible run, and where that puts us is in second place right now with the same number of points as first placed Scousers. Um,
We win, we go
and
top. We
and
win
we
or a
played
draw, we go top.
and we have played a game less. Now that extra game is
Yes.
against Burnley, should be played soon. Um, and no, I would definitely love to mention on the way on that run, for me personally, the highlight victory was when
Was Leeds.
Leeds, exactly.
Leeds.
Those scum, yeah, the scum. They waited 16 years to come to Old
To get
Trafford in the
thrashed
league game
and get
and
thrashed
play
6-2.
and
Yeah.
all that crap that Leeds always does. And what happened when they came? They got slapped up. They got slapped up, mate. And in my opinion, that was the highlight of this excellent run that we've been on. So, looking at those results, Anirudh, give me a quick summary of what do you think of our season, so far in terms of topsy-turvy seasons. How do you see this? What do you make of it?
So, you've actually done most of the talking for me with respect to the to how I think the season has gone by. We've I don't know whether we're inconsistently consistent or consistently inconsistent. It's 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 kind of out there, isn't it? We
Mhm.
spoke on game week one, right? Our most Man United case in the Champions League would be to go, on the last day to Leipzig, shades of Wolfsburg and getting knocked out.
Oh,
That
yes.
was like the most Man United scenario in the Champions League, and we did it.
Oh, mate,
Right? We were,
that
we
one
were.
hurt.
I would admit that. I admit that. You know what? I would actually want to talk about Fred just for a moment here because the
Mhm.
one bad game that he's had against PSG the entire season, right? He's had one bad game, and that was against
Yes,
PSG, and we got slaughtered.
yes, I
We
agree.
absolutely got slaughtered, right? And he was not there against Leipzig, and see the
Mhm.
difference.
Right.
Right? It's massive, right? And Europa League is such a wank league. It's not a competition at all.
Stupid Thursday
For
nights, man.
we play Europa League season after season after season, and we end up facing like Inter Milan's and Sevilla. Oh God, we play Inter Milan, Sevilla. It's it's shambolic. I mean, there's no point in playing that at all. So keeping Europa League aside, we've been on an incredible run. Our away form has just been outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's been outstanding,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to talk about Sporting. When we signed Bruno from Sporting, they said, Man United, please take good care of Bruno. Now it's the other way around. Bruno, please take care of Man United. That's been the scenario done and outright, right?
Right.
Guy's been carrying us ever since he came. We've
Right.
been playing some really good football. We've been scoring a lot of goals, although our defense is shaky. We have to let our opponents score. It's like a norm nowadays, isn't it? If you
Mm-hmm.
play against Man United, if the opponent's name is not on the score sheet, you're surprised. You're like, wow,
Right.
they didn't score. That's how
Mm-hmm.
bad the opponents are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody scores against us. Like literally everybody. Even if Man United guys play on the park nearby my house, I bet the park guys would score one at least. Right?
Man.
So our defense is shaky, but
Right.
we're managing to outscore the opposition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been a terrific run. And this feeling is that feeling of the customary Man United being on top of the table. It's returning. Kudos to Ole, man, because people every time we lose, the Ole out brigade come out and then say that what's he done, what's he not
Mm-hmm.
done. I mean, with all due respect, yeah, he's got our substitutions wrong. We played shit against Istanbul. I mean, that was a horrible. The Dembaba goal was horrible to
Mm-hmm.
concede. The way we were set up and everything. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's got a few wrong, but ultimately, I think he's done a phenomenal job with given the Luke Shaws and the Daniel Jameses that we have had, the Forrest Gumps, right? He's done a phenomenal job, right? And the icing of the cake was Dan James scoring against Leeds.
Man, I agree with you 100%. When Tantiem scored against Leeds, yeah,
Leeds,
that
yeah, you
was
know how bad Leeds are. I shouldn't be talking like this. You know how bad Leeds are. Get out of here, man. You're not. Don't even compare
scum.
yourself
Absolute,
as
dude, absolute.
scum.
You know what it is? You know what it is, yeah, Nirad. With Leeds, they are this media's darling team and they play this beautiful football and this and that. No, I mean, Bielsa ball. What is
Yeah, get out of.
Bielsa
Go
ball?
sit in your own bucket. Go sit in an
Yeah.
Ellen Road bucket.
What is Bielsa ball? Yeah, because what they do is with Leeds, yeah, it's funny because it almost seems like they will either score five or they will concede five.
Or
There is
concede
no
five.
there is no
Exactly.
in between at this point. So, and I can't stand talking about Leeds, man. Screw them. Going
They're not a
back,
competition.
nah, th- screw Leeds. I don't, um, I don't rate them.
See the
They're
thing with
absolute
Sanil with the
scum.
Premier League is it's been a wild ride, right? Nobody thought, given like 3-4 games into the season, nobody thought that we'd be top of the league with you know level on points as Liverpool. We draw, we're ahead of them, and we win
Hmm.
against Burnley. We're like what 4 points. All of a sudden, it's like broad daylight, right? Nobody
Right,
behind. There's gap behind us, right?
right.
And
It's
we play
the
City in the Carabao Cup.
that's what's there's an interesting point that you made there. I know, sorry to cut you off, but against Burnley, yeah, and this is a big if we do manage to win, we go to Anfield, top of the table, 3 points above the
Yeah, we go
Scouse.
to Anfield with a gap. Yeah, we go with some bulk behind us. We go with
Right,
some weight, and we
right.
go as the favorites, not them. And it's been a while since I've actually said that. Anfield's been this dodgy place where we go.
I mean,
when was the last time we actually played well at
well,
Anfield? Probably
if you
the
think
Juan
about
Mata
it,
brace.
yeah, so that's what it is, right? Because last two times we went to Anfield, we lost. It was last time was that Allison assist to Salah when he ran the full pitch at full time. Before that, it was the
Right.
Shaqiri one, right? Before that,
Yeah, and
we had the draws, and then I think it was Gerrard's last game, where Juan Mata went absolutely crazy with the bicycle kick and
yeah,
all
the
that.
shot
That's the one where we
The
got the win.
Shelby red, correct. That was the John Joe Shelby red, right?
No, no,
That's
no,
Gerard's
no, no, no.
Gerard's red.
Gerrard's red, yeah, because of the stamp on Herrera.
Gerard's red.
That was Gerrard's last game against United, yeah.
Right.
But right. So I mean, if you look
Yeah,
at this,
after
yeah,
like the Sadio Mane making the runs, popping up with a goal.
right. It's so it's interesting, yeah. We're at mid-season. It's been an interesting season. Lots of twists and turns, and we're in a position where we are smiling. And it's funny to say that because someone recently pointed out every time we do a preview podcast before a game, we end up losing it. I'm hoping that's not the case this time, and hopefully the
No, we
boys.
play Fulham. If we lose to Fulham, then I'm not doing this podcast ever again.
No, we're playing City. Yeah, we're playing City next. So but either way,
Oh
okay.
yeah,
So
we're playing City.
so talking about all this, Anirudh, there is one thing that we mentioned. It's about being close to the top of the table, and it's not something we had expected a lot with Man United. At least, even us as fans, we didn't expect us to win the league this year, yeah. And
No,
and
everyone's
now
talking
the
about the top four, mate.
question now the question really comes up to is that journalists are asking it, fans are asking it, everybody's talking about this. And is it that are Manchester United in a title race? Is there a title challenge? And I really would like to start off by calling this section of our podcast as the Optimist Pessimist podcast because I know exactly where this is going. I know exactly where this is going. So I want to hear your point of view on this first, yeah? Then I'll tell you mine. Are Manchester United in a title challenge? And can we actually go on and make it 21 in 21?
Ah, look, I'm an optimist, dude. Wherever it is, I'm like the big optimist. I know you are one too, and we would all love to see 21 and 21, right? But here is we lost to Arsenal, we lost to Tottenham, we drew to
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, we drew to City.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The Chelsea and the City game were actually drab games where
Mm-hmm.
there was literally nothing for the 90 minutes. So it's like 180 minutes of just bland football, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We got hammered by Tottenham, which was, let's assume that to be a one off game.
Mm-hmm.
And that loss to Arsenal, I still can't
Mm-hmm.
digest the fact that Arsenal beat us. Arsenal, out of all clubs, beat us.
Mm-hmm.
And Aubameyang, out of all people, scored against us because
Mm-hmm.
he's on a dry run. Oh, that's Aubameyang. He scored against us.
Right.
Right. But here are the reverse fixtures, right? We play almost every single one of them away,
Mm-hmm. All of them away, actually.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
that is actually pretty, it's a little daunting considering we have to go
Mm-hmm.
to Etihad, we have to go to
Mm-hmm.
Stamford Bridge, which has been pretty bogey for us over the last few seasons, or multiple seasons, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the last time we had a good run at Stamford Bridge was uh
Well,
Van Persie, maybe.
no, no, no. To be fair,
Oh no,
Stamford Bridge, we have recently picked up, right? Because we had that FA Cup win against them, and then I think it was last season or last to
right.
last season, where Pogba came up with the goal. But the point, oh, Maguire scored the winner. Remember Bruno Fernandes corner last time we went to Stamford Bridge. Maguire got
Oh,
the
right,
header.
right. Before that, correct.
Yeah,
Before
yeah,
that,
yeah.
we had like the Martial brace and Ross
Yes,
Barkley scoring
correct,
a 92nd minute equalizer.
correct,
Yeah,
correct,
yeah. So it's
correct.
been a little on and off
Yeah,
at Stamford
we
Bridge.
never confident going to Stamford Bridge. I agree with you on that.
But here is the deal, right? Let's assume this. We go
Mm-hmm.
to all of these places, top of the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't go in as the underdogs.
Mm-hmm. Even if
We
you're
go to
top of
win.
the league
Yeah. If
and we
we're
go to
top of
Man
the league,
City.
right? Yeah, we're favorites, man. I'm telling you. We go top of the league, right? Assume this. We go to Etihad with a 6 point lead, right? We go in with confidence. We don't go in saying that, oh, we're fighting for a fourth place. Oh, we're fifth. Oh, we're sixth. City are like what 7 points and 2 places ahead of us. No, that's not the case, right? They are
Mhm.
5 points and 7 points and 2 places behind us right now.
Mhm. Right.
So the entire mindset changes. And you know what? There's just one thing that I want to, I'm just praying. Just keep
Mhm.
Bruno fit, man, the entire season. Just keep the guy fit. He's like we've been like what 16 games into the season. He's already my player of the season, like without a doubt. if they give Matt Busby Player of the Season to anybody else, it's a scam. It's criminal, right? And if they give like, and trust me, for the Premier League Player of the Season award also, if they don't consider him, then it's the league itself is criminal. I mean, the guys who are running the show are like scams, right? So for me, outright Player of the Season, Bruno Fernandes, just keep him fit, man. You know, and kudos to Edinson Cavani for popping up with those odd goals and not
Um,
making me watch. And I tell you what, right? I tell you what, we should have against Leicester. That own goal was unfortunate. It was super.
mhm,
We should have beaten Leicester because the amount
mhm,
of chances Rashi had was
mhm,
like quite a few, right? And if we
mhm,
actually take all our chances, we score like 6, 7 every single game.
mhm. Our finishing is
Like it'll be like
questionable at times.
exactly, exactly. And I would say the Fred McTominay combination is working. It's
Mhm.
dodgy. It's kind of okay, but
It's
you know
working.
what? Just it's working. And I'd say play Tellez like every single game, man. I know his defending is a little dodgy too, but
Mhm,
he's like a million times better than Luke Shaw.
mhm.
Like Luke Shaw should not, even though Ole says, I like working with Luke Shaw a lot. He's improved a lot. Yeah, we can see the improvement too. And no, don't. And going into the season, if we go to all these big games, right, with
Mhm,
say top of the league and 3 to 4 points in hand, that's
mhm,
a big statement.
mhm.
And we're on our way to winning the league 21 and 21. It's all possible. If this Yeah, it's okay, man. The Scouts had their glory years with all those, all those VAR decisions, Liverpool and all those stuff.
Man,
Who cares? You get on, we're
uh,
still above you. You're not gonna get our perch. Stay in your lane. Play with lead, stay in your lane, get out of here. That's it. Not in our league, man.
oh
So
my
what do
God.
you think? I'm completely optimistic. Get out
And
of our lane.
okay,
I'm
so
serious, Liverpool fans.
oh man, I know Liverpool fans are coming for us big time now. Especially if they beat us at Anfield. Oof, can you imagine? It's gonna be a
No,
destruction.
it's
But
okay. We'll still be a point ahead of them, right? Still be
no,
one
no,
or
no.
3 points
No,
ahead of
they
them if we
if they
beat.
will be level because we're only going to go three above them, right? If and that is again and if we beat Burnley. So keeping that ifs and maybes aside though, like I told you about the title challenge, right? I mean, if you ask me today, are Manchester United going to win the league? My heart says yes, of course, but my brain says it's nearly impossible. I don't believe that we are in a title race. Let me get that in here. And the reason for that is I simply don't believe we are in a title race because I don't think we are ready to win the league yet. Right? Despite our attacking play being good, being improved, there is one famous, very famous thing that the great man said that always reverberates.
Attack wins you matches, defense wins you titles. Yeah.
Exact, exactly. And those words that Sir Alex said, yeah, I mean, I personally hold them right here. I do believe that attack wins you games and defense wins you titles, yeah. And um, our defense is not up there yet, right? But there are certain things in defense that are working, that are clicking slowly. It's going there, and I do believe that maybe adding a new center back might be the solution to it. But or maybe even adding a better shielding midfielder, like a holding midfielder, might be the solution to that. But either way, I just don't think we're ready to win the league yet. And if you ask me today, yeah, like you mentioned, Liverpool, they're a very interesting example to talk about because if you think about it, when uh, the season we finished second, that was when Liverpool's whole heavy metal football was talked about. And the reason Liverpool didn't win big that season was because their attack was good, but their defense was not. And Van Dijk made that difference. He took them to that next level, yeah. And of course, it's unfortunate his injury, and I really hope he gets better soon because without him, that side is not 100%, that's for sure. And they're on a bit of a dry run recently, but I don't think they are out of contention. Um, they're definitely right up there. Their front three is fantastic. Man City, I think they're the biggest. I think they're the favorites to win the league right now. Because if you look at it, City are, yes, they have played lesser game. They are behind on points and positions, but they have played two games less than Liverpool. If City win their two games in hand, they're on 32, which is a point behind Liverpool, and currently a point behind us, considering we haven't played our game in hand yet. So I think City are in this too. Um, and again, we cannot rule out the outside chance of a Leicester City coming in, and nor can we rule out Jose just going all out Jose on this. So I think the title race is wide open. These clubs are definitely in it. And when I look at it, yeah, just because of our defensive wows and our toothless finishing at times, I don't think that we're ready to win the league yet. And that's why I called it the optimist pessimist part of the podcast. And rightly, one other thing that you mentioned is keep Bruno Fernandes fit, a player of the season. I think if you ask any Manchester United fan at this point who their player of the season is, or who their Manchester United player of the season is Bruno Fernandes. There is no question about it. And that is one big reason why I say we are not ready to win the league
Absolutely.
yet. We are not ready to win the league yet. And that is because if anything happens to Bruno, yeah, we're screwed. We are utterly screwed. He's a one-man army at this point carrying that team. Yes, we have great individuals, but he is that link that is causing us to play a good attacking football and score goals. So, I hope
I'll
he
tell you
stays fit.
what. I'll tell you what. For the past couple of games or three games, right? Paul Pogba has been incredible.
That game against Aston Villa, my days, mate. Ever since, actually, that's a great point. Ever since Riola made those comments, yeah, Pogba seems to have come out, put his head down, and been like, you know what? I'm going to do my talking on the pitch. And fair play to the guy. He has done his talking on the pitch. I still don't 100% trust him as a personality in the dressing room. That because he's, he flip-flops too easily. But yeah, I credit where it's due. He has been absolutely phenomenal, and credit to Ollie on this on his man
That game
management
against
as well.
Villa, man. Yeah, that game against Villa, man. That was like prime Pogba. Like,
Mhm,
he was untouchable that game. Literally untouchable.
mhm. Yeah,
And
I think he has been exceptional.
even against West Ham, right?
Mhm.
That goal against West Ham was terrific.
Yeah,
I know,
agreed.
yeah, he was sloppy. He was sloppy.
Mhm,
He got a lot of stick, but that goal was terrific.
mhm. I agree 100%. And we were talking about Bruno Fernandes, and just before we go to the next part, I wanted to throw out some stats about Bruno Fernandes, yeah, or as rival fans call him, Bruno Penandes, and this and that. All
Get out of here.
bullshit in my opinion. Penalties are part of the game, and you score them. You know, even the greatest players score penalties, so it's not this season, yeah, in the Premier League. Bruno Fernandes has 11 goals. Oh, sorry, that isn't. Uh, yeah, so in the Premier League, my bad. In the Premier League, Bruno Fernandes has scored 11 goals and has 7 assists. Since his debut for Manchester United at the end of January last season, Bruno Fernandes is has the joint highest goal involvements in the Premier League. Since his debut last season, Bruno Fernandes has led Manchester United to having more points in the league than any other team and having more wins in the league than any other team. And here's one aspect of his game that in my opinion goes highly unnoticed. Bruno Fernandes has put in 30 tackles as an attacking midfielder and has a tackle success percentage of almost 50%. From an attacking midfielder perspective, he attempts to, yes, a lot of people say he loses the ball quite often. And it is shown his pass completed percentage is about 76%, which for midfielders could possibly be a little higher, but that's because he attempts that risky pass. But the boy, every time he loses it, he gets the ball back. So
Yeah, he does.
I have no complaints about him. And all this being said
He
here,
has
what?
that knack of putting in the genius pass, right? You remember that Martial goal against City, was it? Where he lobs the ball
Yes,
in for a free kick for
yes,
Martial to half volley it
yes,
past Ederson. Yeah, he
yep,
has a knack to pick out that pass also. That's what
yeah.
Ollie said right last week.
It's
You know,
instinctive for
he that's what Ollie said, right?
him.
With Bruno, right? There'll be a simple pass, but often he doesn't take that simple pass. He wants to
Right,
get to that risky route,
right.
right? And like now that he has that freedom to move around
Hmm.
and how much solidity Fred is giving in the back line, I think we're more expressive,
Right.
right? And we're like those seesaw teams, right?
Hmm.
Either our 1-0s are extremely terrible games where you cannot watch. It's all side
Hmm.
passes and one random chance you take that 1-0, you get
Right.
away with it.
Like Wolves.
Or like Wolves, yeah, true. Or those Fergie time winners where again like the one against
Again,
Wolves again,
again Wolves. Yeah.
again Wolves. I'm so happy we beat them. Or
Oh my God.
you know you, those free scoring games where come leads,
Hmm.
thrashing them 6-2,
Hmm.
or say letting the opposition score, and then you showing them that what, we can outscore you. Leicester
Hmm.
was unfortunate, we should have won again. But apart from that, those rare blemishes in the season where Palace, Tottenham, we've been pretty good. We've been
Hmm.
really good. And a testament to Bruno, when Maguire was out against PSG away, right?
Right.
It was under Bruno's captaincy, and we
Right.
we utterly destroyed PSG.
Yes. The
We
away
made
game. Yes.
we made exactly we made Tuchel look like a park coach, mate.
Correct.
And probably if we had beaten PSG at Old Trafford, Tuchel walked that day.
I agree. And
Tuchel walked
that
that day itself.
I agree 100%. And Anirudh, that being said, yeah, what's transpired is Tuchel has eventually walked. A man that everyone talked about, Pochettino, has ended up at PSG. And it's difficult to bring up Poch's name without mentioning trophies because he has none. Um,
Yeah,
so
see,
that
look,
that
mate.
that
My my views on Pochettino, right? I've been yelling at people saying that Tottenham this, Tottenham that, he has no trophies.
Mhm.
Look, mate, you cry for being in a Champions League final, right? I know you have, a lot of people have emotions, but if you cry for being in a Champions League final, nah, you're not my manager, mate.
The
You're
club's
not my
bigger than
manager
that,
at
and
all.
yeah,
Exactly.
all. And that being said, yeah, I want to touch on the last part of our podcast today. Um, our next game is a cup semi-final. It's the semi-final of the English League Cup. Let's put it that way. I'm not used to calling it the Carabao Cup, but it's the
It's a Capital
semi-final.
One Cup.
Capital One Cup in it. Capital One Cup is what we grew up to,
Capital One
so
Cup.
I'm used to. That's what I'm used to, man. But so English League Cup, yeah, semi-final. We're up against Manchester City. We were here last season against Manchester City. We got hammered at Old Trafford. We went to at the Etihad, and we possibly could have turned it around, but we failed to. We lost in the Europa League semi-final as well last season, and the FA Cup semi-final. Yeah, so there is question marks about Ollie's team last season that can they push on toward to the final and eventually go on to actually add some silverware to the to the club, and that is what Man United is all about, winning trophies. So that being said, Anirudh, tell me quickly, man, what would your lineup be going into this game against Manchester City? And do you think Man United can come out with a win? And can Ole Gunnar Solskjaer win his first trophy as boss of Manchester United?
You know what? If it was only De Bruyne facing us and we didn't have anybody, I would have told, what, City have a great chance. But we have Bruno, man. Who? De Bruyne, who? Yeah, if De Bruyne picks out two passes,
And
Bruno can pick out the same passes. right? City fans are now talking about Bruno as that signing where it's fearful. The lad has some talent, right? And gone are the days of David Silva, Yaya Toure. Yeah, De Bruyne's still there. He's terrific, right? But we have a guy who's pulling the strings now, and
Mhm.
the number of times throughout the season, right, since the season started, that Bruno has spoken about trophies, spoken about
Mhm.
how big United is,
Mhm.
right? That shows his pedigree, the hunger that he has. And
Mhm.
I would be surprised if we don't give a fight. I would be very surprised if we go toothless into the game,
Mhm.
right? And I fully expect. Wait, does Edinson play that game?
Nope, he's banned for the City game and the Watford game. He will be back for Burnley.
You mean the Fulham game, right?
No, 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 Burnley, because it's going to be So the game that we have in hand was against Burnley. They rescheduled that for January the 12th. Then we play Anfield,
Right,
and
right.
they pushed back the Fulham game. So he's banned for three English games, not three league games, which means he missed Aston Villa. He'll miss the League Cup
Cup,
semi-final against
City,
City.
City.
He'll miss the FA Cup game against Watford on the weekend, and then he'll be back in the league against Burnley.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
Absolutely, great. I'm not talking about Edinson, so let me maintain my decorum.
Anirudh being
So
happy about not talking about Cavani,
that's a story for another day. Let's not talk about it. Yep. So here is the thing, right? With all this De Bruyne, with the De Bruyne's out of the way, and then
Mhm.
we saying that even we have Bruno, right? Our
Mhm.
counter-attacking football is actually pretty good. It is
Mhm.
pretty good, but
Mhm.
our finishing has been woeful at times. We get
Mhm.
a lot of one-on-ones, which we end up
Mhm.
straight. We straight. We shoot straight at the keeper. Unfortunate.
Mhm.
However, you know, I'm I am not going into a City game, fearing that they're better than us.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna fear a Guardiola, mate. You spend 1 billion, you spend 1 billion, you spend all you want,
Mhm.
right? They don't have proper strikers. They don't play Gabriel Jesus. Aguero hasn't scored for over a year now,
So
has he?
Jesus, he did, but like Aguero, Guardiola just said Jesus cannot play because he has COVID, and then
COVID, right?
so Jesus is out. Aguero is out with an injury as well. Pep said he's not fully fit. So, considering all that,
Right. They have
they will probably do what they did against Chelsea in the league, yeah,
Chelsea,
where they
yeah,
put De Bruyne
Sterling,
as a striker. And to be fair to Kevin De Bruyne, man, what an amazing player! The boy killed it as a centre forward as well. But
yeah, he played really well.
considering that, and tell me, what do you think your starting 11 is?
So only Phil Jones is out, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's our injury update, which
Yep.
is pretty good given COVID and all of that. Touchwood,
Hmm.
pretty good. So I
Right.
think we should go with the back four of Victor is fit, isn't he?
Yeah. Lindo is back.
Yeah. So for me, it's gonna be Teles, Maguire, Victor,
Hmm.
Wan-Bissaka, De
Hmm.
Gea in goal.
Hmm.
It's a cup semi-final, so you might as well go for the win.
Hmm.
Fred and McTominay,
Hmm.
uh, Bruno, Rashi, uh, right side. Who right side? I'm gonna give Dan James a run for his money. Zinchenko sucks, man. I mean, Zinchenko is horrible. I expected ZH to destroy him, but
Hmm.
credit to City, they played really well.
Hmm.
Make Dan James run against Zinchenko
Hmm.
if Zinchenko plays, that is, and Marshall up front. I think we're good with that.
Hmm. So
So it's
Bruno
either
plays and then Martial up front and Rashi and James on the wing. Yeah, that makes sense. I see that happening, man.
is
Um,
Diallo eligible to play?
no, he's not yet. I'm hoping soon, but not yet because he's not here yet.
I saw him. I saw a couple of games of him playing for Atlanta. Man, is really good. He's pretty good.
Let's not hype up the kid. We'll see once he's here, yeah. Um,
Yeah, definitely. Yep. So I've told mine, and I expect us to, City will score because that's
mhm,
the norm with Man United nowadays. Allow your
mhm.
opponent to score, and then
Right.
you know, if they score one, I would still consider it a clean sheet because again, I say it's the norm.
We
So
concede
if
one
the
at
opponent
least, yeah.
score one, that's actually as good as us not
Mhm,
conceding at all.
mhm,
So I think we'll just edge this one.
mhm.
I think we go for a 2-1 win.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts? What are your lineup?
So I'm going a little. little interesting on this one, yeah, because just considering the fact that we've had a lot of games over the Christmas period, the typical English schedule, and rotating the squad is very important in my opinion. Um, I would actually play uh, De Gea in goal because he's picked up a little bit of form the last few games, come up with some massive saves. And it's a derby, he knows what it is like to play in one. So David starts
Yeah,
in goal for me.
he's been playing for a decade, man, in Derby. So
Exactly. So he
if
knows,
anybody knows how to play a Derby, it's him.
right, right. So he definitely starts, in my opinion. At right back, Wan-Bissaka plays. Um,
Oh, just to let you know, Sanil, do you know who's the only player in the squad, right, who played in that 6-1 defeat to City?
ooh, that's an interesting one. It was De Gea, isn't it?
It was De Gea.
Yeah, it was De Gea back then. Man, it's been a while.
Nobody in the squad
Yeah.
even featured in a Man United shirt when they have played in the 6-1 win.
Well,
Except,
um,
except, except Phil Jones, who's injured.
right. And I mean, I don't count Phil Jones in this anyway. So, but so that's saying I would go with De Gea in goal. Wan-Bissaka starts at right back for me, and it's interesting, yeah, because Hmm. Does Ollie rotate? Because he likes to go against City with that back five and counter. Because City are going to have the ball here, and they were absolutely excellent against Chelsea. So I expect them to dominate possession. I do believe that Ollie might actually go with that back three, back five. And that being said, I think it would be Wan-Bissaka at right back. Um, you know what? Yeah, would bring Tuanzebe in at centre back because I want to rest Eric Bailly. He's done exceptionally over the winter break. He's been really good. I want to rest him, make sure he doesn't get injured again. So I would go with Tuanzebe at centre back, with Victor coming back definitely in there, and Maguire will play for sure. And then at left back, like you mentioned, yeah, Alex Telles. His defending is dodgy, but if we have enough cover with the extra defender, we should be good in that perspective, I would say. That being said, yeah, going into midfield, Fred and McTominay, no question about it. I think you got it absolutely spot on, Anirudh. Fred and McTominay play, they bring that energy and an absolute engine in that midfield. So yeah, Fred and McTominay for me. Now, here's a controversial one, yeah. I would actually rest Bruno for this game. I would
Play
start Don.
Paul.
I would play Donny. I think he's been saving Donny for a game like this, and I would play Van der Beek as Cam because he brings that industry, he brings that incisive one-touch passing that we need. And the thing with Bruno is, yeah, I love Bruno, and the reason I say I rest him is because he is our best player. We talked about this. He is a
We
player
need
of
him
a
for
season,
Liverpool. Yeah, you're right.
and he has played so many games non-stop. I think it might be helpful to give him a bit of a rest. It looked in the Aston Villa game, yeah, he lost the ball quite a lot. He looked tired, but rest him in the sense I would keep Bruno on the bench because remember in the League Cup you're allowed five substitutions. So I would start Van de Beek in that number 10 position, and then I would go with two up front. And those two, yeah, I would put Daniel James along with Martial, and I would rest Rashford too because the same way against Aston Villa, he looked tired, he looked knackered, he got hurt, he got knocks, and that's what I would go with. And then, of course, that gives us firepower off the bench. You keep Rashford, you keep Fernandes, you keep Pogba, you keep Juan Mata. These guys can come off the bench and change any game. So if we go with a strong core and a defensive unit against City, if we can hold out, see it 2 to 60 minutes, maybe nick a goal here and there, right? And then kind of go for it in the last 30. Because even if this game ends in a draw, we will have a result. It'll go to extra time, it'll go to penalties. So I think it's important to keep this squad fresh.
Yeah,
And
true.
I even forgot we have Mason on the bench too, who can, of course, change any game on his day. So I think that's what I would go with. And in terms of predictions, yeah,
You
Nirud.
know what? You know what? With the
Mhm.
5-man substitution, right? For the first time in a while, I say that for a cup game, our squad depth is unbelievable. You
Exactly.
can bring on Bruno, Mason, Pogba, Mata. These
Rashford.
four, I mean, Rashford, yeah. Or if you want a defender, you can bring on Tuanzebe, you can bring on Eric, you
You
can
can bring
bring,
on Pai. Hmm.
yeah. I mean, wow. It's been a while
It
since I
look
said this,
it
man.
looks right.
It's
Our
been a
squad
while.
looks good, man. It's been a while, and I agree with you. And I'm just hoping and praying, man, that we can play according to the game plan and not lose our heads, because that's our biggest problem is concentration and focus. We need to keep that defensively to keep our shape, and we should be good. And in terms of the scoreline, yeah, I think this game will go the distance. Yeah, I see it going into extra time, if I'm being completely honest with you, because Pep came to Old Trafford set up for a draw in the league. And his centre back partnership with Ruben Diaz and Stones has been working really well. I think Ederson is out because of COVID, so they will have that the young American goalkeeper come in, and I hope we can test the boy. But that being said, I think we will go the distance. We'll go into extra time, and you know what, mate? Of course, I'm never gonna get predict a result against Man
Fernandez,
United. Oh, mate. Oh, mate. Fernandes in it. Bruno Fernandes. Now, Mum and Bruno Fernandes off the bench to win it for us. I think we will win it in extra time. And I'm going with the same scoreline as you did, though. 2-1. 2-1, but in extra time. Um, you know what, yeah? That would set up a juicy cup final against Jose Mourinho, Tottenham. Ollie's
out for
chance,
revenge. Out for
Ollie's
revenge.
chance for revenge, Pogba's chance for revenge. Um, and that being said, yeah, lot of optimism going into the next half of the season. Hopeful that Manchester United can get the job done tomorrow. Hopefully, Ollie can add some silverware now to the progress that we are clearly seeing under him. And man, it's I'm smiling. I'm happy. I'm smiling. We're both smiling, and we're looking hopefully at good times ahead.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, it's been good till now.
Hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to the second half of the season.
Hmm.
With optimism, and it's been quite a while since we've mounted a title challenge. Yeah, with Jose we did, but City were too good that season, so unfortunate. But this year with all the COVID and this and that,
Uh-huh.
we've looked a fit squad this season.
Mhm.
So all said and done, I'm smiling, you're smiling. Roll on 2021. It's 21 and 21. Come on, lads.
All right, man. Come on. We're gonna beat City, hopefully, yeah. No matter what happens,
Yep,
Manchester's always right, yeah. Come on, United.
Manchester.
Don't let me down.
Come
Come
on.
on, United. Let's do it. Come on.